We thank God for giving us the grace, the strength to be here and to spend another 2 hours with you. A lot has been happening on the island of Nevis, but before I get into that, let me send, of course, greetings to all the people in Nevis, the wonderful people of all the parishes and villages and communities, but especially, of course, the people in Brown Hill, where I grew up, the people in Hanley's Road, where I was born, good people in Church Ground who are very near and dear to me, the people all over the island of Nevis. I want to say good evening to all of you and welcome to another edition of On the Mark. I also want to welcome those in St. Kitts who are regular listeners to this show. It appears that interest in the show is in fact increasing since we've now had other radio stations asking if they could carry this show live. And so that is interesting that the interest after over a decade is still there. And I thank those for showing interest. But of course, we are part of the Von Radio family. And this is where we have been, and this is where we hope to continue to be. And so we hope that the other radio stations will understand that this show is one of the shows here. I wouldn't say one of the top shows, but certainly one of the important shows on Von Radio. We have the Heavyweights as well, which is a very important show, a long-standing show. This show has been here for a while, and so we are very grateful and flattered by the interest, but the powerhouse reaches every household, and so we continue to reach out through this medium to the general public, both here in Nevis and in St. Kitts as well. Let me also go on record to say good evening to all the people in the Caribbean, those in the Eastern Caribbean, those who are very close to us, islands like Saba and Statia, Anguilla, of course, St. Martin, Sunshine City, St. Martin. We have those in St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John who listen religiously. I can think of lots of my friends there who I know tune in and are regular listeners to the show. I want to send greetings to those in Puerto Rico, those in the British Virgin Islands, of course, Virgin Gorda, Anegada, right there in Jos Van Dyke and places like Tortola. I want to say good evening to all of you as well. As we move further north, I want to say good evening to all of our friends and family in the United States, particularly in the tri-state area, places like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, in Florida towards the south, across the pond on the west coast, California. I know people listen out there as well. I want to say good evening, of course, to those in Canada, particularly places like Toronto and Ottawa, where I know we have regular listeners, and across the Atlantic Ocean. We go to the United Kingdom, where in London and in places like that, Slough and all of those places, I know we have regular listeners. I want to say good evening to all of you and welcome to another edition of On the Mark. Today I got a message to say that people will be listening in places like St. Vincent and St. Lucia. I want to say good evening to you as well, those of you in the Windward Islands, Grenada, of course, the land of my wife's birth. Good evening to all. I am delighted to be here again and to be able to share another evening with you. It sometimes isn't easy, I confess, because having had a long day, we come now and we are here. But this is part and parcel of what we consider to be a public service. And it gives an opportunity, a platform for people to exchange opinions in a respectful way. That is one of the things that I always encourage and say to people, that even when we are diametrically opposed to each other in terms of our views, we can nevertheless be respectful. And while we disagree, and we have every right in a democracy to disagree, that we never become disagreeable. These are, I think, important tenets of this program. This is why I believe this program has survived for so long. This, as we say, straight talk across the narrows. This is the type of talk radio that the country wants, the country needs, because it is talk radio that invites all shades of public opinion, that encourages debate, that is substantial and substantive. Sometimes I get the better of that debate. Other times, of course, my callers get the better of the debate. But that is the nature of things. The reality is, however, that this show provides a platform where we can share our views, we can ventilate our views, and that all shades of public opinions are given an opportunity to contend in the public square. Now that for us is the essence of democracy. And so I always say that we're doing our own small part for the preservation and promotion of democracy in our country. And for me, that is a critical importance. And if nothing else is ever said of me, I would like it to be said that I hosted On the Mark. I think it's a very important thing that we've done here. We've created this institution with Von Radio, and it has really lasted over these years. And I say, to God be the glory. Now, I start out by extending birthday wishes to my dear cousin Tessa Manners. She's going to be celebrating her birthday. I believe she said she celebrated her birthday, this week. and I want to extend my warmest congratulations to her and to say happy birthday to her. Tessa, as many know, works with us in tourism. She has been doing an excellent job, working hard, and I really would like to extend those warm wishes to her and to pray and hope that she has many, many more birthdays, that she continues from strength to strength. And I know her mom might be listening, so Dumpling, if you're listening, good evening to you. That's my sweetheart over there in St. Kitts, and I just want to wish Tessa a wonderful birthday, or some of you know as Nana, however you know her. Beautiful lady, happy birthday to you. While I'm in a congratulatory mood, let me also take the opportunity, to wish my dear friend Forbes, Hyacinth Forbes, and her husband Lafford Forbes a wonderful anniversary. They're celebrating 27 years of marriage. Hyacinth and Lafford, 27 years. To do anything for 27 years is remarkable. And to be married for 27 years is truly remarkable. And I want to use this platform to extend to them my heartiest congratulations and to say to them that I wish them another 27 and after that another 27, and may they continue to live and love and grow, and may God continue to bless them both. Hyacinth, if you're listening, happy anniversary. Lafford, if you're listening, I know you're not here, but happy anniversary to you. I wish you all God's continued blessings. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have an interesting show tonight, I hope. We're going to invite, of course, your calls in a moment. But I want to put a few things on the table. First, I want to extend my appreciation to my government, the unity government of which I'm a part, because we announced 2 VAT days, and both VAT days fell on a Saturday. And while those days, I'm told, were announced after consultation with the agreement of the Chamber of Commerce, there was a real outcry from the Seventh-day Adventist community, which argued that Saturday being their Sabbath, that they were being excluded. I think some of the arguments were regrettable because the suggestion was that the government was somehow being willful in excluding the Adventists. And I would want to assure the members of the Adventist faith, certainly those here in Nevis, that that was not the case. I think it was a genuine oversight that the process was led through the chamber, and that the business community, having said that the 2 Saturdays would be most convenient, the government went along with it. But we live in a democracy, and this is the point I want to get to, because as a result of that outcry, I reached out to the Prime Minister to indicate to him. He indicated yes, he was aware and that he was looking at the matter. And I was very pleased with the speed at which the Federal Cabinet responded to change one of the days to the Friday. So instead of 2 Saturdays, we're going to have 1 Friday and 1 Saturday. And I believe that that is what a responsible government does. Whenever something happens and we realize that through inadvertence, some section of the community is going to be adversely affected, then a responsible government changes direction. And I'm very happy because I think that is the kind of talk that gets results. That is the kind of government that is responsive and tries to be responsive. And I say kudos to the government and thank you to the Adventist community for bringing matters so forcefully to our attention that certainly this would create a difficulty for them. And so I believe it's a win-win situation that we now have 2 days, Saturday, falling on one on a Saturday, and one on a Friday. And that clearly at least provides some ease so that Adventists can shop up until dusk on the Friday, and then they can shop, of course, after dusk. I think that's the way it works on the Saturday. But certainly the way it was hitherto set out, that they would have 2 Saturdays, there was some genuine difficulty. So I thank all of those who called me, all of those who WhatsApp me from the Adventist community, a very important community here on the island of Nevis, a community that we've always worked well with, and I want to thank them for their agitation, to assure them there was nothing willful or deliberate, and really that we are happy that we were able to make an adjustment to the dates that had been announced to ensure that they and everyone else are accommodated and are comfortable. So I'm very happy for that and to make that report. I'm also happy to advise the general public that, of course, since I entered government in 2013, then as Deputy Premier of the island of Nevis, And I've continued that as Premier of the island of Nevis, which I've been since the 18th of December 2017, that I have had on every Thursday an open day. And I've sought to use that open day to connect with our people and to listen to people. I find oftentimes our people have issues. They sometimes feel that they don't have an avenue to vent or to have those issues ventilated. And they also sometimes have matters they wish to discuss that are of a deeply personal nature, that they do not wish to talk to a prominent secretary or somebody in an office. They want to talk to their representative, or in this case, their Premier. I am proud that that tradition that I have started, that tradition has continued, and that I see now others taking advantage of a similar type of position, because I think it's a good position to have, where you have a day set aside and you have a conversation with the people that you serve. I am particularly impressed because the public may not believe this, but I regularly get people who come from St. Kitts who come over and who want to be a part of that open day. And they have issues of their own that they raise, and the fact that they come, I think, again, is demonstrative of how that process has been working. We cannot do it every Thursday because sometimes we have intervening circumstances, and last Thursday I could not do it because I had my monthly press conference. But this Thursday, starting at 8:30 in the morning, tomorrow morning, we will continue with our open day. Now, just to explain to some how the open day works, the open day is a first come, first served. That means the earlier you come, hopefully, the earlier you'll be able to see me, and the easier it is for you then to get in and get out. Some people come and they complain that they had to wait. It's because you met people there ahead of you. That's the way it works. I don't know any other way. Of course, you can see me at other days during the week, but then you would have to make an appointment. On a Thursday, we do not make any appointments. People come in, and we see them as they come, first served. And we try to deal with many people as we can. My record so far is 31 people seen on an open day, but regularly we do 17, 18, that kind of number would be a regular day. And so I encourage all who may have some issue, some burning issue that they may want to address, that they come and they see me tomorrow, or they see me on another Thursday, or if it is something that cannot wait until a Thursday, they certainly are free to call the office and to make an appointment. I try to be as accessible as possible. In fact, I pride myself on being as accessible as possible. I have a monthly press conference when the members of the press are free to ask questions. I come here every Wednesday that I'm available, where we open the lines and I can have a conversation live and direct. There are no delay switches. There's no playback. It's live and direct radio, where I have an opportunity to speak to people at home and abroad. We have, of course, I am very proud of the fact, I know I get some licks for it sometimes, but the licks don't faze me, that I am accessible on social media. People come to me, they're in my inbox on Facebook, on Instagram, in my inbox on Twitter. I'm there, I'm present, I try to be responsive. And of course the ubiquitous WhatsApp and things of that nature, people get in touch and I try again to be responsive. Oftentimes people say to me, oh, I sent you a message and you didn't respond. I want to apologize when that happens. It does happen, because oftentimes I don't see the message because so many messages are coming in. And as we all know, with WhatsApp and those apps, the messages as they come, they scroll down. And so if you sent me one at 6 o'clock in the morning, by the time I get about my day at 8, I may have 50 or 60 that have come in since you. And so I don't always see them, I don't always get them. But I assure you I try to be responsive, because I think that that is part and parcel of what I do and what I'm supposed to do as a public person, a person in the public service, that I ought to be accessible and responsible to the people who I serve. And not only responsible, but responsive to them, that when they reach out and whatever their concerns are. And this open is a fascinating experience, I will tell you. Some people come because they just want somebody to talk to. And they come and they sit, and the minute I see them, I know, because they don't really have a problem per se, or they have no problem that I can resolve. But they come and they sit down and they have a chat. And for some, that is important. And I encourage that as much as I encourage people with problems to come as well. I am there to serve, and Thursdays is a day that I come I try to have a good breakfast in the morning because I have no idea when I'll be done. I think one day I went until after 5. That's the latest I've gone on in terms of seeing people. But ordinarily, I think we're done by about 2 o'clock. But either way, the idea is that it's an opportunity. So the open day is going to happen tomorrow, and it starts at 8:30. So if there's something that you need, equally there's some people who come week after week, and I often wonder because they really don't. The issue that they have has been resolved, or it cannot be resolved, and they come and again, everybody's welcome. And so, what can one say? You encourage all to come and to share their views and to be a part of the open day. It's an opportunity to see the Premier of Nevis and to see the area representative, and it happens at my offices right there at the Social Security building in Pinnes. And so we welcome you to come and be a part of that. While I am on the mic, so to speak, let me extend congratulations to our security forces. As I was headed here, I got breaking news that they had had the largest seizure of narcotics, cocaine, in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis. And I'm told that it's something like 300 pounds or thereabouts of cocaine that was seized on board a yacht that had washed ashore. I am particularly pleased that the security forces are giving thanks to members in the Sandy Point community, who they say were the ones who raised the alarm. And we continue to ask our public, when you see something, say something, that crime is a social disease and it requires a society to assist in fighting it. And that the police and the security forces are on the front lines, to be sure, but they require the assistance of the public. And here we have the public working with the police and resulting in a significant find of illegal drugs, cocaine to be precise, and I'm told nigh 300 pounds with a street value of millions of dollars. And so I want to thank and congratulate the police forces, my good friend, Commissioner of Police Hilary Brandy, and his team for a job well done. And I want to go on record as to congratulate the Sandy Point community and those there who raised the alarm when they saw that something was wrong with this yacht that had somehow run aground. And so I am delighted that we have yet another example of the public working with the security forces to ensure that law and order are maintained in the country. I feel that if people are honest, they will admit that there is a new feeling in the country. I hear some people calling it a peace dividend, whatever you call it. There is a new feeling. We used to wake up each morning expecting the worst, not knowing what would have happened the night before. We were constantly being bombarded. Those in opposition abused the government of not doing enough to fight crime. I think we have finally come to a particular point where there is, it appears, an easing of the situation. Now, I am not here tonight to say the battle against crime has been won, because I always remind people that when the Garden of Eden only had a small number of people, Cain still found a way to kill Abel. And so the truth is that even in those biblical times, we had crime, and the most heinous type of crime occurred even then. So crime is part of the human condition because we are imperfect, and as imperfect beings, these things are not only to be expected, but we should understand that they happen because of our condition. That being the case, it is nevertheless the role of any government to prevent, fight, curtail, contain, whatever word you want to use, criminal activity. And where governments do that successfully, societies flourish. People feel safe, they're in the streets, they're out drinking, they're out at the restaurants, couples are holding hands, strolling through the cities and the squares. People feel comfortable. And I think that we are slowly headed in that direction. I happened to be at a bar in Charlestown last Friday, and I had heard much about it, a bar they call Level Up. And I was very impressed what I saw there, because I saw young men from Gingerland, particularly the Rollins area, young men from the Newcastle area, young men from Cotton Ground, and even some from Charlestown. And they were all there doing what? Having a drink together as young people should. at some point in the past we had lost our way, and that we had young people going at each other, attacking each other, being violent towards each other, and they themselves, when I spoke to them, couldn't explain why. Many of them, when I sat with them, grown men with children, would tell me about something that happened when they were in second form at the Gingerland High School, the Gingerland Secondary School, I'm sorry, or when they were in third form in CSS. And I said to them, but you're now 28, 30 years old, you have 2 children. Why are you concerned with what happened in second form? The truth is that these things feed on themselves. And a lot of young men felt marginalized, found comfort with other marginalized youth, put themselves into these gangs and associations and compacts, and then developed warring attitudes towards others. I was pleased that the atmosphere in the country has been altered to a point where last Friday I could be with all of these people, and thereafter one of them said that he never thought this could be possible, that these people could be there having a drink, dapsing each other, having a conversation, and not being concerned about their personal safety. And I say, long may that continue. And it is my hope that as the weeks, the days, the weeks, the months, the years go on, and that people realize that we are all human beings, and that if we are to attack and spill the blood of our brother, we are attacking their family. We are opening ourselves up to retaliation for us and our family, that the life of crime leads to nowhere other than the prison house or the cemetery. And as our young people come to that realization, and these young men, rather than thinking that their lives can be cut short at 25 or 26 years of age, are now rather looking to the future, looking to raise their families, looking to build a home, to get a piece of land, looking to build. As each one comes to that realization, it helps to build our island and our country, and that is what we are seeking to do. And so Friday, to my mind, was symbolic. It was symbolic because you had all these people together. And I think that that is the way that we want to see it go. That is the Nevis that we want to see. That those who might have been involved in that activity which was unhelpful seek to put that to one side and to come together as brothers, as sisters, as Nevisians, as Kittitians, and to work together, pulling together in the same direction to build a country. And that is what we want. And ladies and gentlemen, I think that if we can continue in that vein, then our country would have done well. You realize crime is no longer a political issue. The opposition is no longer on radio every day talking about crime. They have sought to resort to other charges, that we're paying the gangs, that we're paying this and we're paying that. I don't even engage myself in that level of conversation. Why? Because the country, in my view, has a choice to make. The country can seek different ways to achieve peace, or the country can continue buying more and more military hardware, investing more in the national security budget for police and army, and kicking down people's doors in the dead of night, and creating a siege mentality. I'm not for a moment suggesting that we should relent in relation to our security apparatus, but I'm equally saying that the social intervention also has a role to play. I believe that I have spoken in the past and I've talked about the iron fist of law enforcement, but that it must be encased in the velvet glove of opportunity. And that is what we have finally got to in the country, where law enforcement with that iron fist, that law enforcement is now encased in the velvet glove of opportunity. And our people are grabbing the opportunities, getting funding for business ideas, bringing themselves, hitherto marginalized youth, into the mainstay and the mainstream of the society, and seeing value in work, honest work, hard work, raising their children, raising their families, and providing for those who love them. And that for me is important, and that is invaluable. You cannot put a price tag on that. You cannot say how many millions that is worth, because it is priceless. And on Friday, I saw it at work. And I said to the youngsters that I'll be back. I don't know which Friday I'll come back, but I certainly will be back, because I really enjoyed being there and having an opportunity to have a drink and a chat with many of them. To God be the glory. Great things he has done, great things he continues to do. And for that we are truly grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is On the Mark. It is approaching 8:30. Of course, we're here for 2 hours, and so at 10 o'clock the band usually strikes up, and it means we have to go. And so I'm going to open the phone lines now, if in case anybody wants to talk to us, put any issues on the table. 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. Those are the numbers to call if you would want to be a part of our show this evening. As I wait for the phones to ring, and I hope that some people somewhere would call, let me speak a bit about the politics of the island. I think an election is coming, and we all know that. We know not yet the date, but we know an election is coming. We know there's a lot of debate and discussions, there's a lot of intrigue almost. Even where there's no intrigue, we find people are trying to create intrigue. I have been told that there is someone who's running against me, a retiree, who's running against me in District 9 for the federal elections. I have not yet engaged with that retiree because I have found that it is not yet opportune for me to do so. And those who know me know that I try to be strategic in what I do politically, and I believe that timing is always important. And so some have called me and said to me that, you know, this one green horse is on the track and the horse looks fast. And I've said to them, whenever one horse is on the track, it always looks fast. But the Big Blue Machine is ready, well resourced, well painted up. I'm told they put a metallic blue on it now. So when the Big Blue Machine rolls out of the shop, I want there to be no doubt in anybody's mind that that would be the time when we realize who's who and what's what. Let me take this call and I'll come back to the point I want to make. Good evening, you're on the mark. Okay, that caller is gone. Let's try this other caller. Good evening, you're on the mark. Hello?
Blessed evening, my beloved brother. How are you and your family?
Good evening to you. We are well. I hope you're well also.
Yes, my beloved brother. Brother, it's so heartwarming, man, to hear you talk about those young brothers who, you know, coming together, man, and stop this madness that's been prevailing for what, 20, like since in the 90s, beloved. And it gets worse as the years goes on, beloved brother. And it's so nice, so heartwarming, man, so joyful, beloved brother, that since about February, March, you haven't been I don't like to say the gang, you know, because gang is like dehumanizing. I know you have some reckless and some criminal behavior. And think about, beloved brother, it's so good, man, that our young people, especially our young brothers, man, could walk in peace and go anywhere in the entire Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, beloved brother. That's there, man, brother, and I hope it just gets better. But we must assist these young brothers. And I have some sisters too, but you know, but we must assist, man, these young brothers, so they continue to walk the street and now and raise their family. And you know that a life of crime is like a death sentence.
Yes.
Beloved brothers. And I commend you, brothers, man, to take up that peace initiative among yourselves. And I know, and I could put my neck in a guillotine because I know it's not coming off, that this administration will do whatsoever it takes to continue that process, beloved brothers. So again, beloved, I entire federation and beyond. Because, brother, you know, St. Kitts and Nevis always be trendsetters and trailblazers. And this peace initiative, when other brothers throughout the Caribbean and further afield see what's going on in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, brother, they will do likewise, brother. So again, brothers, continue walking the straight and narrow. And this administration, I know, beloved, will assist you all in whatsoever, man. Again, brother, it just pleases my heart, man, to see this blood stop running. You see, brother, and I'm going to say something in closing.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell when people love people, because if the Labour Party and the NRP, beloved brother, if they love people and love the country of their birth and have any patriotism in them, beloved brother, they should have put politics aside and come on board, beloved brother. Not want to see blood flowing from since in the 90s. Come on, man. Get some love in your heart. NRP and the Labour Party. Come on, get some love, man. Get some patriotism. Put politics aside for the love of our people and our country. Beloved brother, continue to listen. Keep up the great works. Pan-Africanism will perish. One love, my beloved brother.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me go back to the phones. Good evening. You're on the mark.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. How are you?
I am good.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Brantel, let us say sympathy out to the whole aquatic road of the passing of Randy. Our passed away on Sunday morning. Pancake son.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Brantley, first I must deal with hospital. A young lady went to the hospital on Monday morning, yesterday morning, to check her pressure. And the receptionist tell her you have to pay $10.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have $10. She come right back by me and she told me. I called the matron and she said, yes, they're supposed to pay. But at least if the lady didn't have the money, at least the receptionist could have let the lady come in. And then I saw she tell me, must tell the young lady come back, and the young lady went back to the hospital. But Mr. Brantley, it is a serious thing. Well, I may have a problem because they have to pay. But if the lady not had no money, why she couldn't get served?
Yes,
That one day, it doesn't work well. We don't go down well, Mr. Brandt, because when she step out of in there, your man could have fallen, anything could have happened to her. Anyway, she went back after I called the matron. Anyway, next thing, we had 16 accidents in 1 week, which in what's saying with the police. Mr. Brantley, a lot of people do not know how to use the roundabout right there by Value Mart. Sometimes I got to stop and just let them pass, although I have the right of way. And anybody would tell you so. I sure when the driver driving you, he realized it the same way. And I said, why the police and then don't come out? Traffic, don't come out. And start to do mock things. Use NNC, use one radio. They had this guy who used to do the traffic tips at morning. And Brandy said, come and go carry him and sink it. So nobody there to do the tip. The policemen down this town. Mr. Brantley, I'm a businesswoman. Sometimes I have to go to the bank. To be honest with you, you got to be driving all over to get a parking spot. And if you just even park there in front of the bank, the time you reach out, you don't get a ticket on you. You go in the main street to pick up something. They still got a yellow line there and in front of Main Street. So where should we park? You know, one day what I did? I went all the way down by where they used to have the thing first, by the memorial, right down there by Paramount Cinema, and park. Up to when me walk, come up town, Mr. Mantley, me tired. So want to know that then so everybody know that business people, they mostly go bank on a Monday. Okay? So then what happened to us? You mean they can't even give us even a 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something to even park to go and pick up what you want? And we think this is nonsense because everywhere you turn in Charleston, the yellow line is there. So where should we park? Where should we stop? I'm not like you, Mr. Brantley, you could stop anywhere and turn and walk all day and nobody going to do you nothing. But why we can't? Where we going to park, Mr. Brantley? Just tell me. You go on by the Bethon, you full up. You go cross behind the boy TDC. Sometimes you got to even pull in the handicap thing to get even to go into the drugstore to pick up something. There's nowhere in Charleston to park, Mr. Brantley, and there's something need to be done about it. And traffic need to come out on the road. They got all kind of things. Start to do a jingle then and let people know, well, you know what I mean? Okay, like your vehicle got a license. You know, that, say your vehicle end with 0. Come like at the end as the month before, and like September, October, whatever, and say that those who vehicle end with the number 0, you're going to you know what I mean? Just a reminder, do something. The police and them, you say the police and them do, but they're not doing enough, and they need to be on the street somewhere. Gingerland, from town to Gingerland, carry the most thing, the most vehicle in Nevis coming that way. And some of them you drive one, especially them buses, you know, they overtake you. If you don't watch yourself, they hit you. Sometimes you coming up and you're driving, and if you just stop all of a sudden, something will hit you behind. You know why? Because they're driving right up underneath you. You can't find police on the street. And they need to do more things, more activities, more things that people could really think. And I'm not satisfied, I'm not comfortable, but this Charleston thing is eating me out because when people got to go thing, you know, you got to be watching your back. You know what I see some people do? Left somebody in the vehicle and left on the engine. Just sit down there until they come out the banks and kind of things. That's what I have to say.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And, you know, listen, I have always been a staunch defender of the police. Whenever it is that they've done things that I have not been satisfied with, I've opted to speak to them privately. Why? Because I think it's an institution that we must all support. I have said, and perhaps it is now famous, that when I am asleep at nights, I sleep better in my home knowing that they're out there on the front lines protecting me and you. That is not to suggest that they are above reproach and that they're perfect. But I think we have to evaluate sometimes the criticisms that we make. For example, you say the police are not doing enough because they must remind people that their license is due. Why? You don't know what your car number is and you don't know that you're supposed to license your vehicle? You need a policeman to send out a notice to you that you must license your vehicle? At what point do you take responsibility? And I don't mean you meaning the person who called, but I just mean generally. We must also admit that we are a society which takes responsibility for nothing. So you want somebody to spoon feed you, you want somebody to tell you, oh, go in this morning to deal with so-and-so. I have seen a situation where, for example, we have scholarships on offer in the country, and young people come and, you know, they tell you they want somebody to fill out the form them too long. So we have to be careful in relation to some of the criticisms. The lines in town, I agree it's a problem. When I have spoken to the police, they say, listen, the alternative is to allow people to park all over town, and then you have gridlock. Because the same people who complain that they can't find a park will then complain they have traffic jam. The traffic isn't flowing. And so the yellow lines are designed to allow the traffic to flow. Now, in my experience, the police have exercised some discretion, and I want to correct something you say. You say I can go anywhere. That is not true. Police have more than once come and told me to move along, and I've had to move along. And I do not believe I'm above the law, and therefore I am content to move along. The other day they gave my wife a ticket, and she came home, she told me she got a ticket. I tell her, go and pay your ticket. If you're in the wrong, go and pay your ticket. Simple. So I don't want a suggestion out there that somehow the Premier of Nevis can do as he like, because I don't subscribe to that. If there are others who subscribe to that, that is their business, that is not me. I am not above the law. The law applies to me as it applies to you, as it applies to everybody else. Now, the issue of parking in Charlestown, I have said, and in fact this government has said, that there is an opportunity there, a business opportunity. As the number of cars in the island increase, we are saying to people who have lands in and around Charlestown that they can convert those lands to parking, paid parking. And that way there's a little $5 a day or whatever, I don't know, but they create parking. And we go around and we see some lots. I have been in conversation with one landowner who was indicating an interest in doing that. And I'm encouraging them, and hopefully for the new year, we'll see some transition to that. Because every city you go to around the Caribbean, you see they have parking lots that are created. And many of them are private in nature, meaning that you pay a fee to use them. In fact, right there, that what we call a TDC parking lot doesn't belong to TDC, it belongs to the government. On the waterfront, the Hunkins Drive, we see people park up their car and go away on vacation. I see forklift park up there. I see all kind of vehicles park up there. And the truth is that we have no consideration for others, because that parking lot, if people were coming and going as they should, come in, do their business and then leave, but people park up and go St. Kitts for the day. They go on Anguilla for the weekend, St. Martin for the weekend, and they leave their car parked there. So we have to also accept that there are some of us who contribute to the problem of an absence of parking spaces. And so I don't accept, Carla, that is strictly a policing matter. And the police are a target that a lot of people like to blame. I'm not going to join in blaming them. I agree that they need to do more. I believe that the trucks in particular on the road, I've spoken to the police more than once about the trucks, the fact that the trucks are speeding, the fact that some of these fellas have this Jake, I think they call it, Jake brake, and they use it as if it's I don't know, it's Christmas, and they want to some noise in the place, because I see them even on flat areas and they got this thing making a horrible noise. And really, to me, some of that is unnecessary. I think the police need to step up in that regard. Be on the road, traffic department, a lot of the trucks and things like that on the road that are speeding. They have loads that are uncovered, spilling concrete, spilling gravel on the road sometimes. And then this noise that they continue to make. I think that these are things that absolutely need to be looked at. And I would encourage the police. I know that they've had meetings with the truckers. They have had various sessions with them to tell them what the law is. And I do know that some tickets have been issued, because after 1 or 2 tickets, I know the truckers have straightened up for a while. But they need to be consistent, and we have to continue to work with the police. But I'm not going to join in lambasting them, because I think that some of the things that are being described really and truly is not just a policing function. The traffic police are trying to make Charlestown passable. And you know and I know that if people are allowed to park here, park there, park everywhere in Charlestown, traffic will come to a standstill because the roads are narrow. And so the police have a choice to make. Do they bring traffic to a halt, or do they put yellow lines and try to encourage the traffic to flow? And that is the reality of what it is they're seeking to do. I think the solution is that those with vacant lots in town come to the government, because we are looking for partnership. We're prepared to provide tax concessions to convert some of those empty lots to parking. And we believe that that's a business venture that people can use to transform otherwise vacant and inactive land into some useful purpose, and a purpose for which they can earn. And so we encourage that. It is 1:15, and there are no calls, so let me go back to where I was. I was here looking at Google, because they say somebody who's 60 is called a sexagenarian. So I have a sexagenarian who has been declared, so he's a candidate against me. And as I said, I am not yet inclined to get into any long debate and discussion. But I find this retiree has a propensity to speak, to engage his mouth before he engages his mind. And for someone who boasts that he has a PhD, and I don't think it's a pothole dodger, I think a PhD is a doctor of philosophy in some subject area. Some school gave him that. I think he has to be more mindful of the things he says. But you see, it's a difficult thing. Some people who have substance can come on a radio station for 2 hours for the past 13 years and have something relevant to say. They can invite the public opinion and engage with the public in a forthright, honest, and direct way. Then you have others who come in the last shower rain because nothing else going on for them, so they decide, let me try politics. And they come with some cataflam. And every week, it's a manufactured controversy. You all remember the story of the German cockroaches at the Ivor Walters Primary School. The man never said that the cockroach from Brownhill, you know. He went all the way to Germany to find a roach. Big roach. When I see the roach on Facebook, I get frightened and all, I must confess. I don't have a weak heart, but the roach was a ferocious looking cockroachy. And he said it from Germany. I said, well, this must be a German roach. It's from Munich. Where in Germany is this roach from? And so the gentleman went and came with his German cockroachy story. Said to the public, now this is somebody, a sexagenarian, retiree. They say with age comes wisdom. But we are seeing that that is not always true. Because this sexagenarian goes into social media and says that the kitchen at Ivor Walters has been shut down because there's an infestation, not by ordinary cockroachy, but by German cockroaches. And a big picture of a big fella look like a crab. Says a German cockroach. Then he lists all the diseases that German cockroaches can give to our children. I said, my God, what is going on here? Only to find out not one thing goes so. Kitchen never shut down. No German, local, regional, nor foreign cockroachy. Nothing tall goes so. Made up story by a sexagenarian with a PhD. When the lie was exposed, rather than saying mea culpa, I try a thing, it didn't work. He dug deeper. He said, I was fooled because someone called me and told me and I didn't check. I trusted the person and I gave them until midday to out themselves or I will out them. I went on social media and I said, I bet a hard $100 bill that nobody will be outed, because how do you out yourself? How do you out yourself? When these lies are being manufactured in your own consciousness, how do you out yourself? And I was not surprised that later he recanted and said he had rethought and talked to whoever and he decided he's not going to call nobody's name. Well, who name he was going to call? He found himself on the horns of a dilemma, this sexagenarian. Because he's either a liar or he's a fool. It's one or the other. And he will decide which one he claims. He's either a liar who manufactured a story about an infestation of an extraordinary cockroach, a German roach, that he said flew in here from Germany to infest the Ivor Walters Primary School kitchen. That the kitchen had been shut down. And then went on to list all of the diseases that this could cause to our dear children. Mind, if I was a parent who had a child over there, I would panic. Because that is what this dastardly lie was designed to do. Spread fear and panic. Lambaste the principal, the head teacher over there, and the staff. Lambaste the government. That's what it was designed to do. But the problem was, it was all a fabrication. Big word for a lie. Now, when the lie was found out, he then says, somebody fooled me. Lord, ain't me. It's somebody fooled me. Somebody tell me so, and I didn't check. I said to myself, what manner of sexagenarian is this? A man about to collect Social Security a retiree, looking for an income stream, so coming to the people of Nevis to say, I beg you, give me a chance in politics. And you say, what manner of creature is this? Because it's either you lied and made up a story, or you were fooled and reported a story without checking it. Either way, you would have to decide, and the public will decide. Are you a liar or are you a fool? Because I don't know any responsible person, far less a sexagenarian, would simply hear a story on the road and run with it as gospel. And then to say you'll out somebody and then come back and say there's nobody to be outed. What does that say? Now, the reason I'm taking some time, phones are ringing, I'm going to get back to the phone in a minute. Callers, give me a minute. The reason I'm taking some time, you see, is because I had my press conference last Thursday as usual. And during the press conference, I indicated that the long-awaited repairs to the tender pier in Charlestown, that we had finally been able to source some funding, and we were undertaking the work, and the work would start on November 1st. I am told that this same sexagenarian took to the airwaves to lambaste and say, nothing goes so. So he come down tongue in his pajamas. In his pajamas. And check, and there's no work going on. And accuse me, this Hebrew boy, son of Irvin and Vicky, of being a liar. And I may have done a lot of things in my time, but lying isn't one of them. I try to be straight and direct with the people. And I think that is why I have had some longevity in this politics, because people know that my yea is my yea and my nay is my nay. So he accused me of being a liar. And I said, well, lot of where the pot call the kettle black. And so I had to contend. I said, well, is it better to have a reputation as a liar or as a fool? Which is it? Because he's one or the other, by his own admission. But why am I being accused of being a liar? Because I said the work would start on November 1st. The contracts had been signed. I said the amount of the contract in my press conference. I said the contractor in my press conference, Sinkits Marine Works Limited. Gentleman go, he said, nobody know who the contractor is, whether it's some foreign or local. Nobody know how much. Nobody know this. No worker started. He come down in the pajamas. He said, morning, noon, and night. I see one person respond and say, well, you know, he also had some story about bats, and that bats perform best at night or in the early morning before the sun comes up. So I don't know if bat in pajama is now something for Carnival this year. All the Calypsonians are listening, you know. This is good material. Bat in pajama for Sugar Mass this year. Because I don't understand why people who should, with age, have some maturity are behaving in this way. So today, because I wasn't aware that there was no new issue and that I was a liar for saying that work, a contract had been signed, who it was signed with, the amount, and that work would start. And so the reporter called me today and said, well, how do you respond to this? I respond to what? I said, I don't need to respond to that. This is the contractor who was announced. Why don't you go and you speak with the contractor? And I listened tonight, and what the contractor said, confirmed, contract was signed, confirmed that the work has started, but indicated why they're not seeing any physical work in Charlestown yet, because the necessary pillars and things for the pier, pilings I think they're called, are being manufactured off-site. So the work has started, but the demolition is going to happen, and then the pilings put in at the same time. So there's nothing wrong with what I said. There's nothing incorrect about what I said. And the contractors now confirmed that what I said was absolutely accurate. What reason would I possibly have? The pier has been down there damaged. For a very long time, we didn't have the money to fix it. The public has been agitating about it. So why wait for now to say I'm going to tell lie about that? It is just some of the folly that is passing for politics. And I said to myself, how are you going to build support? By either lying or being a fool. How are you going to build support? People need to know that they can have some confidence in those that they are electing to office. They need to know that. And I always say to people, when people come to you and tell you that they want you to invest your confidence in them, you must look at them, examine their own life, and say, is it a life that has instilled confidence in you? Have they lived in such a way that you could say, boy, this person will understand what I am dealing with? I am concerned, for example, that people, only when they become a sextagenarian, that is somebody 60 years old, that they know the word charity. Because I see them now all over social media, say they're handing out meals, meals on wheels. Well, my God, people never used to eat before you come 60. Huh? I am always concerned about people. The minute they become a politician, they know that they can contribute to the community. They can donate something. They are now distributing meals, meals on wheels. At 60, what happened when you were 40? What happened when you were 30? If you ever sponsored a little something, provide a little meal to somebody, helped somebody in need. So at sextagenarian stage, you suddenly find charity. That's why I say, people will always recognize real. People will know. And people will examine and say, listen, what is your track record? You now come and say you want to serve me? You want to represent me? Okay. What is your record? When you were charged with an institution in St. Kitts to run, what did the report, the audit that was done say about your tenure? I tell you all, when this big blue machine with the metallic coat of paint comes out of the shop, it will be hell to pay the price. Because I will delve right here and elsewhere, using all the platforms that I have available to me, into that CFBC report. Note it. I want you all to note it this evening. What is the date today? Let me check. Today is the 6th of November. I want you to turn to your husband, turn to your wife, turn to your son or daughter, that the sheriff on the 6th of November said that the CFBC report is a bombshell. I want you to do that. Because people must be examined so that you can ascertain for yourself, are they a liar or are they a fool? And I am urging those who say they want to come to this arena, which is politics, to understand that it is serious business. And that you cannot simply go on radio, or go on TV, or go on whatever, and make up stories. Because in this day and age, you would have to be held accountable. And so just as the German cockroach never existed, there was no cockroach from Munich or Berlin in Brownhill. Just so, this new cataflam about lying about fixing pier, the work has started. The contractors confirmed. The contracts have been signed. Today, I spoke with my financial secretary and with the manager at the port to ensure that all that needs to be done from a financial point of view is being done. So let us ladies and gentlemen, be careful. And when some of them come now at 60 telling you that they have suddenly found Jesus, and they now know what charity is, and they now know that Nevis has people who are less fortunate, and they want to bring cameras and show you on Facebook that they found a conscience as a sexagenarian, I think that you should examine the horns, because there are some traitors on board. And I am committing that I will do a forensic analysis of the CFBC report. And we will have to look at it, because the question, a fellow called Poser in St. Vincent sing a song. What he say? Where the money gone? That was the song Poser sing. Well, he said, in the song, he said the money gone somewhere. I'm not going to get into that. But where the money gone is an important question that will have to be asked as we do that forensic analysis of that bombshell report that came out of the CFBC. So mark your calendars. It's going to come. And I keep saying, people, don't trouble. If trouble not trouble you. You are like to jump on me. Let me tell you something, you know. I am not no easy peasy kind of person, you know. I go along cool and calm. I put up my socks on Facebook, they cuss. I say I can't afford socks now, they cuss. They go and they Google how much my shoes cost. I take a picture, and in the back of the picture, or the floor of the picture, they see a hotel. They go Google, say how much per night to stay at the hotel. Mark, you may never stay at no hotel, you know. I just happened to be there. I said, God forbid, if I were to take a picture in front of the White House, oh my goodness, they will say that I have bought the White House. And where the money come from? The government had an opportunity to buy some land here in Bath Plain. They say, I look in house. These constant stories, storytelling. I mean, I would prefer if when they start to talk, they say once upon a time. Because then once they say once upon a time, the public will know that's a Nancy story they're coming with. They're coming with a nursery rhyme. But this constant effort by people who we would think would know better. Because I'm saying, if you're now a sextagenarian, that means you're 60. Well, if you're not got sense now, when you going to get sense again? When? Again? If at 60, you don't have sense, when you going to get sense again? That's an important question, you know. If you are a sexagenarian and you do not yet have sense, when you going to get sense again? And that is the dilemma that we're faced with here. When people who come as a last resort say, Lord, nothing else, tall go right for me. Let me try and get into politics. Politics now is for some people who have demonstrated that they have no other alternative. With all the training and all the education, they can't produce anything to sustain themselves and hire one or two youngsters around here. And so, they say, well, let me see if I can persuade people to vote for me. And all of a sudden, as a sexagenarian, I want you to remember the word, you know. Because that's what you call people who are 60. And as a sexagenarian, you know, find charity. You know, have an opinion on everything. And when you have nothing to talk about, you make it up. So whether it's a German cockroach or the Berlin or Munich cockroach, you make it up. And you attack people. You attack the contractors in here. They say they don't know what they're doing. You attack the teachers and the head teacher at Ivor Walters. You concoct story about bats and infestation of bats. You talk about infestation of cockroach from Germany. I mean, where is it going to stop? And when are we going to get a serious discussion about serious issues? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, yeah? Campaign gonna start just now. Just now. I had a peek in the garage. Big blue machine shine. Oh Lord. They say, what is it called? Metallic blue. That is it. Metallic. I get the right word now. Metallic blue. They say maybe you're gonna have to wear shades, even at night, when you come to the meetings, because the blue gonna be so bright. But when you see the big blue machine rolls out, woe be unto he who stands in the way. Because we are not going to make any joke about this thing. This is serious business for serious people. And I keep saying that we live in serious times, and serious times demand serious attention from serious people. Not people who trying a thing, looking at salary. No. People who are genuinely committed to serving Nevis and who are coming to Nevisions with ideas, not with cataflam, not with stories and then counter stories, and then you're left to choose and to say of them, are you a liar or are you a fool? As a sexagenarian, I would expect that age should bring some wisdom. And if it hasn't brought wisdom at 60, then my brothers and sisters, I don't know when wisdom will come again. Let me go back to the phones. It is 10 past the hour of 9 o'clock. Good evening, you're on the mark. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
How are you, my dear?
I have a show tonight now.
You're on the show, you're on the air.
Okay, and good evening to the whole Federation Think It on News. And I want to know that when the vehicle that we hear, the ambulance and the other vehicles that were traveling, the fire truck and so, they had to let them slow down. They didn't want to stop, but they could go. And they have to give way that they could go through. Because they're in emergency. Yeah. And I want to know that when we walking across the vehicle, the stop right there, whatever, walking good. They stop long. Anybody could rob you. When you're waiting there so long, and I said, well, them now walk good. You tell Mark good day, and you have a good night, and everybody.
All right, my dear. Thank you much. Good night to you. Let's go back to the phones and take some calls. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Premier.
Good evening to you, brother.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm well, thank you. I'm well.
All right, I'm just calling in because I would like to thank the NIA and Team Unity for the peace and tranquility in the islands of St. Kitts and Nevis. Because I've heard and I've read and I've heard the talk that the restaurants are open later, people are going about their business day and night without fear. And I just want to say congratulations, and you all are doing a good job.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark. Hello? Hello? Okay, that call isn't there. Callers, can you keep trying, please? 869-469-1616. 869-469-1700. Those are the numbers to call if you want to be a part of the show, and we ask and invite your calls. I have a bit of a sniffle going on here, so please forgive me if I am not sounding as clear as I would like to be, but it's 10 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. If you've just tuned in, it means that you're listening to the Eastern Caribbean's only powerhouse, VON Radio, the voice of Nevis, and this is Mark Brantley, the host of On the Mark, straight talk across the Narrows. You see my shirt tonight? You hear it says Sheriff. I put it on for a purpose. I'm rolling out. I think I need a new wardrobe as well. What do you think? New wardrobe, new big blue machine. I mean, it's going to be awesome. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Hi, Mr. Brantley.
Hi,
how are you doing?
How are you, my dear?
I'm great.
Yes.
This is Florine, as you recognize my voice.
Of course. What do you have for us
I
tonight?
know this time of the year, I'm calling about our annual cocktail that coming up on the 30th of November. That would be the last Saturday in this month. The venue is going to be the Government House Ground. The time is 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. The music will be provided by Smooth Vibes, which is owned by Leroy Paris Jr. The price is $100 per ticket. And, of course, proceeds goes towards to assist a person with renal failure. And we're looking forward, as usual, for the general public to support us, whether it's financially or whatever it is, and support us, that we can, in turn, help those who are affected with renal failure. And one can purchase ticket from my self number, which is 669-3477. Paulette Hanley, which is 665-1856. Sherilyn Pemberton, which is 669-4185.
Can you give those numbers again, please?
It is 669-3477, which is Florine. We have Paulette Hanley, which is 665-1856. Sherilyn Pemberton, 669-4185. And we still have tickets, or you could get tickets from any member of the society. And please come and enjoy a good evening. It's going to be good music playing, live music. And we're going to have nice finger food, delicious finger food. So come on, guys, and support us with your family. It's going to be a nice evening out under the sky. Okay?
Okay.
So see you there, Mr. Brantley.
Yes, well, I always try to do my little to support. So
yeah, I know you do
yes,
that.
Yes,
but at least maybe you could do a little bit more.
Well, we all can do more.
Yeah, we all can do more.
I was about to tell you that I would make a contribution, so get in touch with me. Okay?
Oh, so guess what? I'll come and see you tomorrow then.
Well,
that'll be fine.
Tomorrow will be fine, but it's the open day, so if you're gonna come, you'll have to come early, or you'll have to wait in line, because it's a first come first serve.
Okay, sure. I'm going to make sure I'll be there early then, okay?
All right, God bless.
And thank you. Have a good evening.
Okay. Good.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.
All right. I just want to thank Florine. They've done some excellent work with the Renal Society. They've been with it for years. She and Paulette and Nurse Pemberton, all the names that she's mentioned, they've really done an incredible job. Dr. Liebert, Glenville Liebert, they have all really been part of this for some time, and I want to commend them. And she always calls in and promotes whatever activities they're doing. And this is the People's Show. This is a show where people, of course, engage. We are very much engaged with the public, and the public engage with us. And so I welcome those types of calls and commend the effort that she and her team have been undertaking. She's really done an excellent job as public relations. The phones are ringing, so let me go back to the phones and take some more calls. Good evening. You're on the mark.
Good evening, Mr. Premier. How are you doing tonight,
Good
sir?
evening, my brother. How are you?
I am doing pretty good.
Yes. What do you have for us tonight?
And you're on fire tonight.
Well, not so much, I just trying to talk some truth, 'cause,
all right.
People chatting all kind of foolishness, so,
All right.
All right.
Okay, well, if you could spare me a couple minutes.
Sure, man. Mm-hmm.
I am calling in with regards to the Empire Sports Club. We are celebrating our 40th anniversary. We normally celebrate in the month of November. And so we are 40 years old, and this is a huge milestone for us. And we think that it's a big deal. And so we have put some activities together, and we are looking forward to the support of the members of the general public for our anniversary activities. Let me just say that we have already hosted some of our activities for the anniversary, because what we have tried to do is to spread the activities over several months of the year. Earlier this year, we would have done a church service. We would have done a 35 and over dance as a pre-cultural activity at Revere House. We would have hosted, of course, our usual aquatic sports. And a couple of Sundays ago, we had a takeaway luncheon at the Charles Walters Community Center in Handley's Road. Mm-hmm. And I must say that the support for the activity so far has been quite good. In particular, the support for the luncheon. The takeaway lunch was practically oversubscribed. We sold a number of tickets. The tickets were sold out, and a number of persons came. They apparently heard about the fundraiser. They came without tickets and bought their lunches on the day of the takeaway luncheon. So I want to say thank you to all those who supported in such an overwhelming way our fundraising takeaway lunch. And of course, persons must realize that when we have these fundraising activities, we are raising the funds for a cause. We do a lot of work in our community, and so we want to be thankful for those who continue to support us. Now, we have some activities for the month of November, because I said November is normally our anniversary month. But just before I go into the month of our month of activities, let me just take this opportunity to congratulate our cricketers who would have gone to Antigua and performed well, and in particular, the cricketers who are of the Empire Sports Club. Mr. Andre Brown, he was the VIP for Nevis. He's of the Empire Sports Club. We had noteworthy performances from Kyron Powell, Adelvin Phillip, Nelson Boland, and Kezron Archibald, all of the Empire Sports Club. Kezron eventually made it into the Leeward Island setup. And of course, we know Adelvin is already in that setup as well. Nelson Boland, who is also of Empire, he was in that setup last year.
Yes.
And so we realized that most of our top players from Nevis these days are from Empire. Empire, we are celebrating 40 years, and we're very proud because we have put players on the West Indies team. Kyron is from Empire. We have put a number of players on the Leeward Islands team. We have put a number of players on the Nevis team. And so we are extremely proud of what our players would have accomplished. And once again, I want to congratulate Kyron, Kezron, and Adelvin for making it into the Leewards. I think they are the 3 divisions, and they are all from the Empire Sports Club. So we have need to be proud.
Didn't young Campbell make it as well?
Oh yes, I think Campbell Campbell made it, but
Is
Campbell
he
is
also
not from
with Empire?
Campbell is not from Empire.
Okay.
But Kyron, Kezron, and Adelvin are from Empire. Now, in terms of our activities for this month, we would have started out our activities this past Sunday, the 3rd of November, with a church service at the Henry Memorial Wesleyan Holiness Church. And right after service on Sunday, we would have made some visitations to the sick and shut in our community, and we would have distributed some gift packages to them. We would have visited 13 persons in our community, and we have 3 more packages to give. So that will be a total of 16 packages to be delivered to the sick and shut in our community. As I said, when persons support us, the money is going to proper use. Now, our next activity is on Saturday, the 9th of November, and it's a health screening. It is taking place at the Handys Road Community Grounds, and we are doing that in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. Of course, we know that the Ministry of Health would have procured a mobile unit, and the mobile unit will be used on Saturday at the Handys Road ground for health screening. Now, I'm encouraging persons from Handys Road and the surrounding areas, or even if you're not from Handys Road and the surrounding areas and you're desirous of having your blood pressure and your blood sugar and your BMI and so on checked, please come to the Handys Road grounds on Saturday, this Saturday the 9th, from 8 to 11 a.m. This is also a reminder because once you come in and you want to get your blood sugar checked, you should not eat after midnight. So this is a gentle reminder. But we're encouraging persons to come because we need to take better care of our health these days, Premier Brantley. A lot of the time, sometimes our blood pressure and our blood sugar sometimes go out of whack, and we don't even realize. And so we need to have these periodic checks, and when these opportunities become available, we need to take advantage of them. They are free of cost. And so this Saturday, we want to see the whole of Handys Road at the community center grounds to come and do the health screening. Now, Sunday is a big day for us, Sunday the 10th of November, because I'm sure you just heard me mention all of our accomplishments in cricket.
Yes.
Locally, regionally, and internationally. And the club actually started out as a cricket club 40 years ago. Now it is now a full-fledged community club. Now, because of the fact that we have a cricket base, we decided that we must do something with regards to cricket during our month of activity. And so we're having a 2020 mini cricket festival at the ETW Park on Sunday, the 10th. And we have 2 matches scheduled. We have the first match is going to start at 2:30. I think it's either 2 or 2:30, but come for 2. And in that first match, we have a Empire Masters team that will engage a Masters team from the rest of Nevis. In the second game, which will be starting around 5:30, we have an Empire youth team against the rest of the Nevis youth team. And Mr. Brantley, when you hear who will be playing in the Masters team, people will definitely need to come out, because these games are really planned for us to have some good fun and to bring some fun to the park.
Yes.
And let me just name who the players are for the Empire Masters team. Joel Simmons. It's a 15-member squad.
Yes.
Joel Simmons, Curtis Tatix Dorr, Colin Mills Archibald, Elijah Hall Brown, Junior Duncan Mills, Earl Boddy, Gary Pemberton, Colin Walwyn, Anthony Barlow Taylor, Eustace Williams, Curtis Morton, Mervyn Chicken Hendrickson, Ian Yarker Kelly, Kervin Bulliman Dorr, and Corey Maynard. Now, I'm sure a lot of these players haven't been on the field of play for quite some time.
Well, you mentioned a couple of names there, like Yaga and Bulliman, right?
Yes.
And I don't know. You have Benge. You have a good supply of Benge and the medic's going to be on hand.
Well, we probably need to organize that.
We need to make sure, that we remember we had them little motorcycle ambulances from Dubai. You need to have them close by, because I know for sure Yaga and Bulliman. Them two names that jump out at me. And then, Duncan and them, they got more chat than anything else.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting. But I think that's a very interesting 15 you have there.
Extremely interesting.
I realize you say seniors. I feel badly because I played youth cricket with Hall and Duncan and those fellas. The only man missing from your team is Jagger. The dentist. I hope he's listening in England. Maybe he come home for Sunday.
And your cousin Booger is missing too.
But Booger is missing as well. Absolutely. So, but maybe Booger has taken the right approach at his age now.
But I believe it will be a good match.
Yes, man. It's also.
I believe it's going to be very, very interesting, and we want people to come out and look at the game. It's really not really for competition per se, but really for fun,
of course,
and to bring the guys together.
Of course.
As a nice fun day out for the family. And for the Empire Youth team, we have Jelani Manners, Kijel Tyson, Andre Brown, Nelson Boland, Trevier Smithon, Ryan Solomon, Alvin Handial, Shirandi Merchant, Kayanja Boddy, Javier Liebert, Jason Allen, Javon Manners, and Sean Hanley. So that is the lineup for the younger team. So that younger team will be engaged in play from around 5:30. And so we're going down into the night. And the good thing about it, Mr. Brantley, is that it is absolutely free.
Yes.
We are not charging a penny at the gate. So people can come in free. There will be music. There will be a well-stocked bar and eats, but no vendors. You're not allowed into the park on Sunday, right? But we want people to come out and have good, clean fun from 2:00 on Sunday the 10th. We're looking for the whole of Nevis to come out and have fun. I know Premier Brantley, I know you will be there.
Well, God willing, I definitely would like to be there.
You'll have to come and look at these senior guys.
Yeah, just in case they need an extra spin bowler as well.
All right.
They need a good leg spin.
Definitely.
The batting part I can't offer anything, but the leg spin for sure.
And so it's 2020 cricket, and then our next activity will be Saturday, the 16th of November. We have an awards cocktail at Nipa Courtyard. On Sunday, the 17th of November, we have a gospel concert, and that will be held at the Henry's Memorial Wesleyan Holiness Church in Handy's Road at Box Hill. And we have a host of gospel artists from throughout Nevis, and descending on the church there in Box Hill on the 17th. Here again, it is absolutely free, but we ask you to bring along a soft offering. We will collect an offering, but we are not charging you to enter. And trust me, the lineup of artists that we have is very impressive. And so we are asking persons to come out and support our gospel artists Sunday the 17th from 4 p.m. at the Henry Memorial Wesleyan Holiness Church. On Saturday, the 23rd of November, we dubbed that Community Day. we are going to be hopefully painting the bus stop in Hanley's Road, and we'll also be doing some cleaning on the roadside, because we've realized over the years, Premier Brantley, that we have lost that community spirit, unfortunately, on the island of Nevis. We of the Empire Sports Club, and we in Hanley's Road, we want to keep that community spirit alive. Nowadays, persons don't want to do anything for free. You know, anything that person's going to do, they want pay. And we want to be the trendsetters right here in Hanley's Road, where you were born. And so we have Community Day slated for Saturday, the 23rd of November. On Sunday, the 24th, we dubbed that Hanley's Road Day, when we're going to be having some fun games at the Hanley's Road grounds, Community Center grounds, here in Hanley's Road. On Saturday, the 7th of November, is our famous 35 and over dance at Revere House. And then, of course, later on in December, we'll have our outing for our seniors. We'll have our Christmas tree lighting and so on. So I just want members of the general public to be aware of what we are doing for our 40th anniversary. No easy mile, no easy feat in terms of a milestone. And we're very proud of what we've accomplished. Of course, it has been challenging. We have a lot of members on the books. Some are not very active, so I'm taking this opportunity to encourage those who have not been too active to get a little bit more active. And I really want to thank the members of the club who have been very supportive over the years that I've been the president, that I've been at the helm. It has been a pleasure leading the club. It has been a joy, and I'm very proud of what we have been doing in our community and what we continue to do. As a matter of fact, our theme for the 40th anniversary is Empire at 40, recommitting to serve community and country. So we are recommitting to continue to serve our community and the country of Nevis. So I want to thank you very much, Premier Brantley, for having me, for allowing me.
Before you go, I know you called for that specific purpose.
Yes.
But I was up in Gingerland and had a look at the phenomenal work that you and your team are doing there at the home for Gingerama.
Yes.
And I'm very impressed. I wanted to say that publicly, and I want to commend you.
Thank you.
Minister Eric Evelyn and the team. And I have spoken, because, you know, when I go, I like to talk to people. And
yes.
The feedback has been overwhelming in terms of the positive views that members up there have.
Yes.
And I think that it's a significant injection that the government has made at your insistence and at your urging in Gingerland. And I can only ask you, before you go, to update us just in terms of where that project is.
Yes.
And also in terms of the plans for Gingerama, because I see a poster that went out of some ladies already.
Yes.
And of some youngsters, Gingerette, as well. So you have Gingerama and you have the young Gingerettes who are competing as well. So I just wanted to give a little quick 2 minutes on that.
As a matter of fact, I intended to,
yes.
But I was it was slipping away from my mind because I was so indulged in the 40th anniversary.
Yes.
And I want to thank you as well, Premier Brantley, for coming to the site and for the reviews. I too have been getting some overwhelming reviews. As a matter of fact, only this afternoon, I gave someone a lift and he said, "Listen, I have not been into the festival, the village, but just looking at it from the outside, I am impressed."
Mm-hmm.
So he said, if it's looking so good from the outside, I could imagine what it is on the inside. And I can tell the people of St. George and all people of Nevis that this facility will be for the whole of Nevis. It's built in Gingerland, yes, but it will be the use for all of us. And trust me, if you're impressed now, I want you to make sure that you circle the date of Thursday, November the 28th on your calendars, because that is when we're going to have the grand opening of that facility. And we want everyone to come. Trust me, we want everyone to come, because if you're so impressed now, I think you're going to be blown away once you come on Thursday, the 28th of November. Now, the work is progressing quite smoothly, and I have to say here as well, Mr. Brantley, I want to thank you and the other members of Cabinet, my other Cabinet colleagues, for approving the project. And it's moving very nicely. We will be ready on time for the grand opening on the 28th of November. Let me just quickly run through what the activities will be like for the Gingerama Festival. On Thursday the 28th, as I indicated, we have our grand opening of the Festival Village and of the Gingerama Festival. On Friday the 29th, we have a private activity. We have a young man who is from Hannes Road, who is residing overseas. He has teamed up with, I think, a couple other folks from here, and they're doing what is called a ginger. I think it's a ginger jam. I might be wrong, but it's a jam that particular night where you have bands from both St. Kitts and Nevis, and I'm not sure if there's a band from overseas as well, but we have several DJs. And so it's going to be more like a little band clash that particular Friday night, the 29th. On the Saturday, the 30th, we have our Juve that has become a permanent staple now on Gingerama. We have Juve morning on Saturday, the 30th. On the night of this Saturday, the 30th, we have 4 lovely contestants who will be vying for the Miss Gingerama crown. On Sunday, we have, that's the 1st of December, we have cricket at the Hard Times playing field in the afternoon, and then in the evening, we have the Miss Gingerette pageant. And so that is what the lineup is looking like. And as I said, I want people to ensure that they come to the Festival Village on the 28th of November for the grand opening. And we want everyone to see what a spanking, lovely facility that we can be all very proud of, not only in Gingerland, but throughout Nevis. And as I would have mentioned sometime back, Premier Brantley, this facility, because, you know, they will always be the naysayers and the critics. But as I keep saying, this is an administration that is forward-looking. Persons have been saying you're spending all this money for a festival once per year. Well, no, not at all. This Festival Village, this multi-purpose facility, we have already been getting a lot of interest from schools, from churches, from private individuals. And trust me, this facility is going to be used year-round for the development and furtherance of our culture and for activities that anyone on the island would want to use. And so we believe it will be it is a fantastic investment, and we are proud of where it has gone so far, and we'll be even more proud with the opening on the 28th. So I'm asking persons to bear those dates in mind, the 28th of November until the 1st of December for Gingerama 2019.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much for that. And good news.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's stick with the phones and take some more calls. Good evening. You're on the mark. Hello? Hello? Hello, caller? Okay, that caller isn't there. Caller, we apologize. We had given the Honorable Eric Evelyn. I knew he was going to call, and he wanted, obviously, to speak to the issue of the 40th anniversary of the Empire Sports Club. And also, I wanted to hear from him about Gingerama and the update on the magnificent complex that is being built right there at Market Shop. I think all of Gingerland should be proud. He's a man who is delivering on his commitments, and he has said he would do it, and the cabinet has supported him in doing it, and I'm very proud of the Honorable Eric Evelyn, what he's achieved thus far. The phones are open again if you want to call 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. Since I'm on the mic, I just got a message, and I would want to send birthday greetings out to Rhonda Thompson, who's celebrating her birthday. I neglected to say so earlier, and so please forgive me, Rhonda, but happy birthday to you. It's coming from your dear friends who have messaged me to remind me that today is your birthday and that they would want to wish you a happy birthday. And so I wish you all the very best and many, many more years of good health and happiness. Let's go back to the phones and take some more calls. Good evening. You're on the mark.
Good night, Mr. Manley.
Good evening to your brother.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll come back to the parking space in town. No matter what you do or no matter what anybody says, things are going to change, because the city was designed for 2019. It was designed. It wasn't designed for 2019. It was designed for the old days with cart and buggy, with those the elites, 1 or 2 elites, and the road was built narrow, and that is why you had to build this the Honking Drive. But it's going to be a headache for people. And talking about the police people a chance to park at the bank, that's not going to work, because nowadays you go in the bank, you spend some hour or sometime more, and that's not going to be good. So when I go to town, I go down Prince William Street. If I can't find a spot there, I drive up straight up to the Hunkins Drive, and there's always a parking spot up there by Nelson's place. And if sometime I park up at Best Buy, walk to town and then come back into the shopping, I don't complain because better can't be done unless the people take advice from you and people with the land. And because I've seen it happen in St. Martin, right there in town, people get use the spare land and make money.
Sure.
So they could do that.
And we have some land there. If you go up, for example, the street there by the Nevis Bakery, there are lands up there which are just lying there vacant.
They could make money. Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. It's not hard. You put a chain across and you go and open it in the morning and you collect your money for the day or whatever. Whether they want to pay monthly or daily, but it's a sure thing. You know?
Good.
And that's it. Because things that it's not going to get, no matter what people say, it's not going to get any better in Charlestown. It wasn't designed for that.
Well, and cars keep coming in. I think that we have to also make that note that, people continue to buy cars and import cars, and so the pressure, because Charlestown would have been designed in the days when you had people with donkey cart.
That's what I'm saying.
So
there was nothing talking about 2019.
Right.
Okay. Good night.
All right. Thanks for that. I think that's a very important point that you've made. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening. You're on the mark.
Hey, Mark. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, brother. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yes.
Mark, I'm inviting all the fans out to the Ed Committee Willie Park tomorrow to watch Rollins and the Guyanese in the finals of the island-wide tape ball competition. Administered by Youth and Sport, but sponsored by the Development Bank. Encouraging all the fans, especially all the fans from the Rollins area who have come out night after night and watch the cricket.
What time is the final?
The final is what happens. They're going to have a playoff for the third place from 5 until 7. So the final is let's say between 6:30 and 7.
And this is tape ball.
Yeah, tape ball.
And how many overs?
It's 10 overs aside.
10 overs. Okay.
Tonight, the Guyanese beat the All-Stars team to get to the finals, and Rollins team beat Cotton Ground to get to the finals.
What kind of runs they scored off the 10 overs? You have any recollection?
Rollins team, their first match against Eastern, they scored 187.
187 off 10 overs?
87 for no loss. Carlin Swinton scored 134, and Young Manor scored some 30. I think he scored 32 runs or something like that.
Wow.
And Carlin Swinton has scored close nearly 400 runs for the season, and Rollins have won all of their matches. I think they won 6 matches, and they've been unbeaten for the season so far, and they go into the finals tomorrow with the Guyanese. It's going to be a ding-dong battle. It's going to be a big match, and the crowd been coming out to the El Committee Willie Park, and the Youth and Sport Department, administered by Brian Dow, been doing a good job in terms of organizing this island-wide tape ball competition. Mark, what we have done for the past 2 months is to go in and support them, and we have stopped playing cricket at halftime for 2 months, and we go in and support the tape ball cricket going on.
Yes.
And after the tournament finish, we'll be going back to halftime. A matter of fact, we're going back to halftime in a massive way, especially for Jindarama. We have Jindarama Sunday when the Rollins team and the Guyanese team will be playing at 2020 from 1 until 6, because we have until 6 o'clock, because in the night is the Jindaret show.
Okay, well,
So what we are doing, we are trying to, we use cricket, especially tape ball, to try to keep the young guys on the street and narrow and find some kind of avenue for them to play sports instead of finding other things to do. Just to do positive things, and it's been working for the past couple of years while we continue to develop our cricket.
Okay, my brother. Well, I want to wish you well. I hope, God willing, to be there tomorrow evening to have a look and I really find the tape ball cricket is very, very exciting. And
Yeah.
so I look forward, and I want to thank you publicly because I know you've done a lot of work up there in Rollins and the Hard Times area
Yeah,
to keep
yeah.
that
Mark,
cricket alive.
night after night, me and a good friend, Mike, have been anchoring down the commentating at the park.
Yes. Well, I that means that it's a couple thousand, about 20,000 people have been there then. Cause,
Okay. Well,
you know when Mike start to call the crowd, you get frightened.
Yeah, you know, Michael, and you know him already. All of the jokes and all of the, a lot of people come to the park to watch cricket and to get some jokes and to be entertained in a good way. And people come religiously and you know, I mean, it's been exciting times, especially for Nevis in terms of the young men and some young ladies play as well. So it's been exciting time, especially playing tape ball cricket, and we are hoping that you know, tape ball cricket will go somewhere that we'll be able to invite a team from outside to come to Nevis to play tape ball cricket.
Okay. All right, my brother.
Okay, Mark, have a good evening,
Okay.
and continue doing a good job for your country.
Thank you very much, and you do the same.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to On the Mark. We've had a wealth of information tonight. Clearly, there's a tremendous amount of activity going on. And Minister Eric Evelyn, he rang in to remind us of the 40th anniversary of the Empire Sports Club, and I want to commend him and the entire community of Gingerland, Hanley's Road more specifically, for the work that they've been doing to be in this service, because that is what they do. They serve for 40 years is extremely important. And when I hear some of the names that he has called out for the seniors, I can only reflect on my own boyhood days in Gingerland, people like Hall and Duncan and others who we would have played cricket. We would have been friends, boyhood friends from that age until now. And so I certainly brings back fond memories for me, and I want to commend Minister Evelyn and the work that he's doing. And, you know, I think that I should just take a half a minute. Maybe it's not necessary, but I'll say it anyway. That Minister Evelyn has only been in politics for 2 years. But he's calling on behalf of a club that is 40 years old. I think that is significant. The reason why I say that is significant is because it is demonstrative of how long he has been in the service of people. Some, as I said earlier, wait until they decide they're a politician to start to pretend that they're serving people. Eric Evelyn has always been in the service of others. And here he is, a politician of just 2 years. He entered the ring in 2017 as a member of the team, replacing the Honorable Vance Emery. He entered the team. And he can speak tonight as chair of an organization that is 40 years old. I'm not saying he has been chair for 40 years, you know, but I'm saying that he's been part and parcel of that club for all of these years, giving human service to the people of Nevis. And I commend him and I commend the club. And he's now taking it to the next level now as the politician and the area representative with the work he's doing there in Gingerland. I went there and I'm telling you, it is impressive. You'll see it for yourself, no doubt. Let's go back to the phones. Quarter to the hour of 10 o'clock. Good evening. You're on the mark.
Mark,
Yes.
I'm hoping I'm not taking too much of your time, but
No,
I
man, go
want
ahead.
to talk about something that is dear to me. Gingerama. I remember in 2001 when we started Gingerama, I was the chairperson of the traditional night, and we had a lot of work to do. A number of names that I could call were guys, me, Justin, Cutie, all of those. We used to have to head galvanize and to build up because at the time it was hosted over by Hard Time Playing Field, and it was a lot of work getting all those galvanized together, building up booths, building up the whole, we had to fence the whole area, and it was really a lot of work, and it's really hearkening and making me feel proud of the initiative that's been done at the Gingerama village, because I think that was long in coming, having a home for Gingerama, so that people could, the people of Ginger and the people of Nevis can display their talent. And really, I'm going there day after day and inspecting and watching what's going on. Really, I'm thinking that when it's finished, it's going to be the envy of the whole Caribbean, that a small community like Jindaland can get such a facility with persons like Eric Evelyn being a driving force. I mean, really, initially it was started under Amory, but Eric Evelyn came and expanded. And remember, as we have said from the initial thing, is that while something is coming to Jindaland, we want something good. We wait a long time to get something that, you know, and so that we want something, and while it and it has to be good. And Eric Evelyn came and decided, boy, while he starts something, he has to finish it, and it's really looking fantastic so far. And I'm hoping that the people of Jindaland, the people of Nevis on the whole, utilize it so that it, we can see the benefit financially and what it can do for our island culture. You can have all kinds of things there, and our cultural aspect can develop in a big way. So I can say kudos to Mr. Evelyn, to Eric Evelyn for pushing to get more funds to really to ensure that we have a proper facility here in Jindaland.
Okay. All right, brother. Thank you very much for that. And as I said, keep up the work that you yourself are doing. I think that is commendable. Ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't leave. We have only about 10 minutes left without saying how grateful I am to Dr. Rouse of Georgia. And Dr. Rouse has resumed his visits to the Rouse Foundation to Nevis to offer medical care to the people of Nevis after an hiatus of about 3 years. He was first introduced to Nevis by my dear friend, now of blessed memory, Ursula Phillip, and her daughter, also called Ursula Phillip, my dear friend. And good evening to you, Ursula. You're listening in Atlanta. I'm sorry, in Georgia, Villa Rica. I think that means rich town or something like that. And I want to say good evening to you and all the family. But this tradition has been continued, and I wasn't here. I was in fact abroad. But I want to commend Dr. Rouse, genuine person, a real gentleman, who has come and has really given of his time and his expertise to the people of Nevis. And this is an example, I think, of how our people in the diaspora, in this case, Ursula Phillip, leveraged their relationships for the benefit of us here at home. And I really want to express my thank you, profound thanks to Dr. Rouse, the Rouse Foundation, to Ursula Phillip, now of blessed memory, and her daughter, Ursula Phillip, as well, for the phenomenal work that they've done, the phenomenal effort that they've made. I really would want to extend my warmest appreciation to them for that. It is not often that we find people willing to give of themselves to others without profit or reward. And for that we are truly grateful. I have also indicated tonight that we have listeners in the Windward Islands. I want to say good evening to them, those in St. Vincent and those in St. Lucia and elsewhere. I just got a message saying that people are locked on and logged in and listening, and I want to say good evening to them. And someone sent me a joke, said I learned a new word today, sexagenarian, meaning that you're 60 years old. Well, I'm here to help, and you're here to help me. I'm here to help you. So I think that is a good thing. So I just wanted to say that. I also wanted to join with an earlier caller to extend my condolences to the family of young Randy, who passed suddenly. I want to extend my condolences to Pancake, of course, and to the entire family. I did speak to Ulrika, my very dear friend, and extend my condolences to the family, but I want to do so publicly as well. As I have spoken to people, I confess that the reports on this young man, whom I only knew by seeing, but the reports on him have really been excellent, that he was so helpful, he was so kind, he was such a loving person. I'm told he worked at the Four Seasons, and they are devastated as well by the loss. And so I would want to extend my deepest condolences to Pancake and the entire family, and particularly to my dear friend Ulrika, and to say that, as I always do, that I'm hopeful that the prayers of the multitude will comfort them in this their time of bereavement. And so it is my hope that they will find comfort as they grieve, and they should know, as we say, that mourning may last for a while, but joy always comes in the morning. And so I wish them all the very best in this very difficult and dark period for them, and let them know that they should hold fast to God, because ultimately we have to trust that God's plan is better than, bigger than our plan. And while we may not always understand, we should always trust and believe. And so I wanted to say that before the show came to an end. I don't know if there are any other callers, but we do have about 8 or so minutes left on the clock here. So if anybody wanted to get in a call, they are certainly entitled to 869-469-1616, 869-469-1700. Those are the numbers to call if you wanted to be a part of the show. Honorable Eric Evelyn, I don't know if you're still listening, but I want to register a complaint officially on air, because Dr. Packer, the one and only, Dr. Packer, this Mama Cooley's son, he sent a message to say he felt very badly that he did not make the team for the Empire Seniors team. Now, I have known Packer all my life. I never know Packer to be a cricketer. But I suppose, particularly when we get older, we have delusions of grandeur. And so Dr. Packer seems to feel that he should have been part of the team. So, Pax, wherever you are, if you're driving on the highway right now, brother, I know you listen to the show, I want you to know that I have delivered on the air your complaint that you did not make the seniors team for the Empire Sports Club. And I didn't make the team either, but I am not complaining. I am like my good cousin Booger, and I figure leave young people business to young people. But you are staying all the way in the States and complaining when nobody down Hanley's Road ever see you play cricket yet. So that would be interesting to see how you figure you could make. I don't know if you want to be the cook for the team, because I hear you say you're a big chef now. But I don't know what other capacity Dr. Packer would have made the team. But anyway, that is the message. Let's go back to the phones and see who else is there. Good evening. You're on the mark. Hello?
Hi. Yeah, Mr. Brandy?
Yes, you're on the mark. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is Bushman Leroy.
Yes, Bushman. What's happening with you?
Yeah, I just ask you a question.
Yes.
Wait, they might legalize killing in sir?
If you're going to legalize killing?
Yeah.
No, man. We can't do that.
Well, I said so because me and your cat say so, and me life at risk.
Uh-huh.
And that me can ask you.
So how your life at risk? Who troubling you?
Well, who trouble me?
Yeah.
I know how to pipe. I don't go cross out the water.
Yes.
And I only could make one trip.
I'm listening to you.
Only one trip I could make out there. All kind of thing. I come here, sometimes I put down the water here. They come here and do me all kind of trippiness, Mr. Brantley.
Who come in doing your trippiness?
Well, I don't want to call nobody's name.
Okay, don't call no name. If people...
No, I don't. The station, I don't want nobody sue them.
People in the neighborhood?
There are all kind of people there.
Uh-huh. What about the thing you tell me you had? You say you had a ball that you used to look in and thing.
No, I'm not talking about ball now.
So the...
Sometimes me just see people like that. Only the back me could see. The back of them.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you hear, oh, me feel lucky this way, me feel lucky. All they kind of talking over here.
Okay. Well, Bushman, I think you need to report the matter to the police. Have you done that?
Mr. Brantley, I don't want to call.
No, you can't call a name. I just ask you.
Kind of thing, with that.
So you will report it to the police?
Oh, me not get no result.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to look into that.
Huh?
We will have to look into that for you, but we...
Minion Leroy Pemberton, better known as Bushman.
Yes.
At 75 years, about 1944.
Yes.
The 8th of April. Lord, not what you can't done.
All right, Bushman. We'll have to look into that for you, okay? God bless you and stay safe. 5 minutes to the hour. Let's take this call. Good evening. You're on the mark.
Boy, Mark, me home make a confession, boy.
Ah.
You know, I agree with this Ginger Rama because they don't have the community center and they had the thing upstairs. But Monday afternoon, I said, man, me going right up there, see how we look. Me not tell no lie, he look good. He really, really look good. And I really, really proud because I'm from Gingerland too.
What place you're from? You tell me you're from St. Paul's, now you're from Gingerland too?
So me come from a rally, me born a rally. And then, you know, when you're small and you think, me mother from St. Paul's, I tell you so. Me come from a rally right up at Maliban. You come from Henry Road, you tap down there.
All right. Okay, well, thank you very much for that. And I agree. If you've just passed by, you're not, but I drove in there myself and I am impressed. Very, very impressed with the home. And what I like about it is I'm already hearing some young promoters in the area saying they're gonna have function up there. And when I was a boy, Market Shop was a hub, a hive of activity. You had the market there. You had, of course, Charles Brown Shop. You had, you know, I mean, the area was just an area where people would gather. And I think that this is going to do a lot to revive that area. And I've spoken to some youngsters recently, and they have a plan there for the market as well. I think if we can get that market brought back, we can get that area there brought back, I think that it will provide an excellent opportunity. Everybody don't have to come in town on a Friday afternoon. You have other spots now that you can have that kind of activity. And I think that that is an investment which is visionary. And that is why I congratulate so much the Honorable Eric Evelyn for taking this and making it into reality. And certainly my colleagues, because, you know, the pressures come of what we're going to do, this or that. We don't have money for everything, but we thought that we would back this project. And I think that it has demonstrated that it's a worthwhile project. Let's go back to the phones. Good evening, you're on the mark.
Yeah, Mr. Brandley, I always, sorry to bother you again. I always think about Market Shop where it used to be so busy.
Yes.
You know why it's out of business now? Because everybody, they're doing business in town now. Town busy. You have something to do, it's in town. The bank, the stores, whatever. And when you go to town, you do your marketing one time. You go to the market and get whatever you want. And that is one of the reasons why Market Shop is, you know, it's out of business.
But I think it can come back.
Yeah, it could come back.
And I think that, you know, with the correct investment and the energy that I'm seeing in Gingerland now, I see that there's a gas station being built across the road there once again.
You're not the old man who used to have it before,
yes,
all Brooks? No,
yes, man.
You're too young to know.
No, man, I know Brooks. I'm not so young now.
Truck with it used to come butlers with his soft drinks, cola, big truck, go right around the island.
I'm not a sexagenarian, but I'm not so young either. All right, but I remember Mr. Brooks well, and of course you now have Best Buy. You have that. You have
but Market Shop, you for the provisions and so on. Because people go to town to do the business and then they go to the market one time.
Right. But I think it can be revived. I mean, I see a lot of people now popping up on the sides of the road selling vegetables, and they could find a home right there once it's a nice environment. So thank you very much for that.
Okay.
The banner struck up. It means we have to go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mark Brantley. I am delighted that you allowed me into your homes and your cars this evening. I think we had an excellent show. I want to thank all of those who called, particularly the Honorable Eric Evelyn, to update us, as he did, about the Empire 40th anniversary and about Gingerama. And to say that this show is rebroadcast tomorrow at 1 p.m. And we look forward, certainly, for you listening it twice. Just to remind listeners before I go that this Sunday, we have the memorial service to commemorate those who would have passed in the Great World Wars. And that will be at the Memorial Square in Charlestown. We're inviting one and all to please come out and be a part of that. And for those who are out there, to wear your poppy, that's the universal show of support for those who fought and lost their lives to ensure that we have the freedoms that we have today. Thank you, good night, and God bless you.